Thank you, Todd.
Sure.
For your talk. Basic meditation technique. We don't talk about that enough, maybe. That's good. Does anyone have a question?
So that was basic meditation technique. And you also like to teach basic meditation technique with a different one. Why do we meditate?
Mm-hmm. So who are you?
So please expand.
The response was a bow. So if you ask yourself, what am I? And that's a first half of a basic meditation technique that we mentioned. Exhale, don't know. Yeah. So we practice to find our true selves and to help this world. So first step in helping this world is really coming to grips with the question, what am I? So this don't know clears everything. When everything becomes clear, you perceive suffering, other people's suffering. It's not all you perceive, of course. But the first step is to somehow get in touch with what other people are going through. You go through it yourself, so you already understand. We tend to be preoccupied with what we go through rather than what other people are going through. And so it's simply this, how can I help mind, moment to moment. So that's real connection. When we meet somebody and we have ways of saying hello, shake hands, how are you? And we have in the back row somebody suggesting this as a way of greeting. I don't know. Whack. Yeah, sometimes maybe that's necessary. Sometimes that's what really helps. Hey, wake up. See, it really works. Anyway, we practice to learn how to do that and to be sensitive to that. So we have the phrase, for all beings. That begins, of course, with the ones that we're in direct contact with. Maybe that's where we can do the most good. But I think it's important to really keep the mind for all beings, whether you know them personally or not, and whether they're still alive or not. So that's the best I can say for why do we practice. If you ask me another time, maybe I'll say something else. I don't know. Thank you for your question. I wanted to mention that this little booklet is now available again. So we had a class yesterday, and one of the participants later called it a seminar, which is interesting, and several of you were there. This is Trust in Mind by it's the Shin Ming by Tseng San, who was the third patriarch of Zen, with Bodhidharma being the first. It's quite short. In this little book, it's only a few pages. It's, I think it's 134 lines. And the lines themselves are short, just 4 words per line, 4 monosyllabic Chinese words per line. So it's the most Chinese verses, 5 or 7 syllables. And I first translated it for I don't know why I did, but it was first published like this by Diane Eagles, who's now a teacher in our school. And she had it available in her store, which is called Dharma Crafts, Dharma Supplies. And she would put a copy into each order free. And she went through 1,000 copies like that. And then I made a second printing, and now that is almost out. But she tells me she's looking into a third printing. Anyway, there's a stack about this high of these on the bookshelves. It's right next to the payment box. Now, there's no price set on this, but if you take one, you might want to consider opening the box and putting something in it. Yes?
It's also available on the website and the resources page.
It's available free for nothing on the the Kansas Zen Center website. And that's in fact what we used for the class. Everybody just got that PDF. So one way or another, it's readily available. And I do strongly recommend it, as I think some of the best teaching, the best Zen teaching that I know is the Shin Ming, which means trust in mind or faith in mind. So that's my pitch for the Shin Ming. Are there any other questions? Vast emptiness.
I have a question.
Okay, first you. Well, actually, someone here has a question and is clipping on the mic right now. We'll take you next. Yes.
What are the three worlds talked about in the Heart Sutra?
Yeah, and the three worlds, different interpretations, yes, past, present, and future, or the world we're in, and heaven and hell. You can make up other three worlds too. You want to let's have a go at it? What are the three worlds? Yes.
Very hungry, full, and thinking about next meal.
Very hungry, full, and thinking about next meal. You had three worlds? It looks like you did. One world. That's the best. This world right now. Why should we want more than this world? Yeah. But in the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on prajnaparamita, so they must be there somewhere. Okay, and Liz?
Yes, I was reading the English translation of the chants, and on one of them, I think it's the Thousand
Eyes and Hand Sutra, yeah.
And it has a couple of statements in there, or parts, where one is about being protected by dragons, or being protected by that you're the way I read it was that I'm being protected by dragons, and being protected by Quan Sam Bosel, and that then also being reborn either as a Buddha or a human. And my question isn't necessarily about that, but I'm not so sure I believe either one of those, that I'm protected by dragons or Quan Sam. I don't think I'm protected really by anything. And being reborn, the way it read to me, it was speaking more of reincarnation, but maybe I misunderstand that. But my question is, if we're chanting something, how important is it that we actually believe what we're chanting?
The most important thing in chanting is to perceive the sound. Perceive, world, sound. Yeah. And to be 100% in producing that sound. You don't have to believe anything. If you find something that is helpful, that's good. If you find something that you just can't relate to at all, just let it go. Yeah. So, most important thing to believe in is what? You want to hit the floor before you answer? What? It's what?
Yourself.
Yeah, believe in your true self. So there's other self that goes flitting around the world. You don't have to pay too much attention to that. But find your true self and believe in that. Thank you for your question. And I think Tom had a bodhisattva question. Nah, it was just a bodhisattva question. So bodhisattva question is kind of the, let's fill in the silence here. You know, we're doing all right. So are there any other questions? So vast emptiness, nothing holy. We can leave it at that. Thank you all very much.
Yes.
And we now have announcements.